With Jim Welch from USA Today. So Jim, what are your responsibilities at USA Today?
Yeah, I'm the deputy managing editor there. I'm in charge of guiding the daily report on all of our platforms, in the print edition, on our website, on our mobile devices, on the iPad, any of those types of things. I try and help steer our reporters and editors in a direction that helps us produce really exclusive content that's unlike anything you'll find anywhere else. These are difficult times in the media business. The business model itself is somewhat broken, and that's why we're now moving forward in areas that couldn't even have seemed possible 5 or 10 years ago. That includes embracing social media, using Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, to get not only our own stories out, but to help us and report other stories. The one thing that we're able to do that I think others aren't in this sort of new media environment is to bring a certain level of credibility to the discussion. We can help curate the debate. There are a lot of excellent blogs out there. There are many that aren't quite up to standards, at least the ones that we might set. And we can help steer people to the information that is most fair and objective. For people entering this profession, I think it's important that they understand the use of web tools now. It's not just knowing how to write headlines or to lay out a page or even to design a website, but literally knowing all the various applications, whether it's mobile, how to track things like that, how to tell what kind of traffic you're getting to your site, how to do video. You know, that's a relatively new phenomenon for us, and we're training almost all of our reporters and editors in video, and I don't expect any of them to become cinematographers in that sense, but we're producing some pretty good work, and we're finding that our photographers, some of whom have always been involved in still images, now are doing pretty well as videographers. So yeah, just being willing to embrace those things is really important. And again, I would, at the panel too, I was asked, what is it that you would say to people interested in your profession? One would be to make yourself as knowledgeable as you can in those areas, but also that the journalism itself matters. The idea of understanding what a balanced news story is, understanding what libel is, understanding what privacy considerations come into things that you report on or choose not to report on. There still are standards. I mean, it's always changing, but we like to feel that without being too sanctimonious about it, that we can help be one of the arbiters of that, along with providing the kind of information you've come to expect, and in a manner which is immediate.
And at USA Today, what are you most excited about in the coming year? What new technologies are you guys embracing that really get you going?
Well, we're doing a number of new things. We had one of the first apps for the iPad. I use my iPad all the time, not only for my own enjoyment and information, but also to track how certain stories we're producing are playing on that platform, on the tablet. And that includes some of our video work. We try to think, just before the Super Bowl, we were one of the first groups to test a thing called augmented reality. And what we did there was you were able to take your smartphone and train it on an image in the newspaper, and this would launch an application on the phone. The one that I had suggested, actually, and we actually produced, was a tour of Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which was the site of the Super Bowl. And we actually talked Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, into taking us on an escorted tour of the stadium. It was just Jerry and ourselves. It was a 360-degree thing. I can't begin to tell you what all the cameras were that we needed to use in producing this, but what you had there is you'd get this tour of the stadium, and then you would see a little spot off here, and it would say locker room, and you would just touch it on your smartphone, and it would all of a sudden launch the locker room. You were inside the locker room then. And then there was another one if you went around the stadium, and it hit mural. Again, this attracted a couple advertisers, which is always good for us these days, because it's been a much more challenging environment. So we're using things like that. We're using QR codes now. You probably see these in some print publications right now. You know, they strike some people, I think, as gimmicks, but I think, you know, some of these things are just another way to draw audience to what it is we're producing, the good content that we want to get out there. In this area of what Laura Potter mentioned is the white noise that's out there. How do you cut through some of the clutter to find what's really kind of interesting and informative?
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to sit down with us, and we look forward to the exciting technologies that USA Today will start to use. Thanks.
Thank you.